I have a brand new raccoon-proof feral cat feeder, and I'm really excited because I think it looks really cute and it looks much better than the last one that I had. So if this looks like a doghouse, it is because it is a doghouse. I got this doghouse on clearance from the Christmas tree shop. The original price at the Christmas tree shop was $99.99. I got it on clearance for $49.99. So I got it for half price. And I've seen these go for $150 or more in certain pet stores. So to get it for $49.99, I thought that was a great deal. Now, it did not come assembled. It needed to be assembled. So I assembled the bottom half of this doghouse, but the instructions say that you're supposed to nail the roof onto the frame. So basically it's just like one big piece. However, to make it a raccoon-proof cat feeder, I needed to be able to get to the feeder mechanism inside, so I needed the roof to be detachable, and the roof is really heavy. Those are two heavy pieces of wood with all of the roof shingles on them. So I asked a family member if he could build a framework for me that actually holds the roof together. So the roof, both sides of the roof are now one big piece, and all I need to do is lift the roof off, and then I can access the feeder inside, refill the feeder, and then put the roof back on. And the roof is not going to go anywhere, even though it is not attached to the bottom, because it is fairly heavy. I will be shocked if the roof got moved. So here's the roof. It comes off in one big piece. It's not that heavy. And then here's what I have inside. I have a 2-foot by 2-foot piece of plywood. This was about $3.78 or $3.48. It was less than $4. And then I have this large brick. That brick was probably like $1.38. I have the brick here to hold the plywood in place. And here is what is underneath the plywood. So I have this blue recycle bin that I got at Lowe's. It was less than $10, but it did not have a cover. So I need to use the plywood as a cover for this. And because the plywood pretty much fits the entire thing really well, it acts as like a ceiling for the area where the cats can feed from. So I had to cut the hole into the front of this blue tub in order to fit the bowl through. And then here is the automatic feeder. And then what I did was I bought bricks for each side of it. I think there's like 7 bricks for each side of this feeder. The weight, I wanted something heavy so that this tub can't move when the raccoons try to push on it. Also, it keeps them from being able to push this very far. They could probably push this maybe like a ½ inch in each direction, but that's about it. Then I also have these bricks angled on the side because I know that the raccoons try to put their paws in there and then they'll just hit a brick. So this is what it's looking like right now. It's fairly heavy. I would be surprised if the raccoons were able to move that. And this is scheduled to go off at like 6 a.m. tomorrow, which is actually 6:30 because the timer is wrong on here. So I'm gonna test this out. I'm gonna put some dry food in the bowl right now, and then I'm gonna put everything back together, and I'm just gonna see if Boo or Hydrax or any of the cats use it. Boo's already checking it out, and there's no food in it. So here is what the roof frame looks like. It's basically just some 2x4s. I think those are 2x4s holding both sides of the roof together, and the roof is also screwed into that top piece, this piece on top. So it seems pretty sturdy for what I'll be using it for, which is basically just putting it on and taking it off every couple of weeks. So here's what it looks like all assembled. It looks so much cuter than what was here before. I'm gonna put some food in the bowl and let's see if Boo eats it. Okay, Boo had absolutely no problem eating the food in that bowl. I mean, it will take them a little while to get used to it. There's plenty of room in front of the bowl so that rain should not get on it. It should be very well protected from the elements. Also, I like that it's raised off the ground. The last one was pretty much just on the ground. and this is a couple of inches off the ground. Boo seems to be enjoying the food. Now, the test will be tonight once it gets darker and the other animals start coming around, like the raccoons and the skunks and possums. They're the ones that are going to be the toughest on this feeder. So hopefully there will be no food left in the bowl. I didn't put much food in there for him now. So hopefully there won't be any food in the bowl and there's nothing that the other animals can do to this. The raccoons do like to stick their paws up the front of it to try to get some scraps out of the conveyor belt, but maybe because there's extra space in front of it now and the front of the plastic container is actually lower, maybe they won't be able to do that, which would be a good thing. Okay guys, check that out. So now he's sitting in this little house while he eats. So that's interesting. There's like just enough room for him to sit there. If he actually moved to the side a little bit, he could probably sit in the house while he eats. So that could potentially be a good thing for like when the weather's bad. But the feeding table will be in front of this. That's where a feeding table that was in front of the other feeder, that will still be in front of this one. I'm trying to rig up the automatic feeder in this new container, in this new doghouse. I got the doghouse on clearance at the Christmas tree shop, and it has a really nice roof on it, so trying to make this work. So what I'm doing to the side of this tub is I am cutting a hole opening into the tub with a box cutter. Now this plastic is much firmer than the same blue plastic tubs that were much easier to cut. So this is a different type of plastic. So in order for me to be able to make the smooth cuts, I'm using this embossing tool. This is a Nicole heat tool, but any embossing tool that you'll see in a craft store like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Joann's or AC Moore, these are used for people to like emboss greeting cards. But it puts out a stream of heat, a stream of hot air that's enough to start heating up the plastic, which softens it and lets you get the box cutter through the plastic. So it's much better than the blow dryer method because this is much quicker and it's like a condensed flow of heat. So the plastic does get very hot, so you don't want to put your hand where you just heat it up, but you can kind of see where it's almost like a little bit melty, but where it's not heated up, it's starting to crack. So these cracks are coming out where the material was not heated up enough to make a smooth cut through it. So you have to be careful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the edge with duct tape. So I'm going to, that'll seal off rough edges, but like we don't want like huge cuts through this whole thing. Okay, so I have the bottom cut, and then this is the side that I took my time with, and I make sure it was nice and hot when I cut it. It's a much straighter cut. And this is the side that I tried to rush, and you could see where the plastic cracked, and the plastic cracked because I did not heat it up enough. And this is how far I got before the plastic started just being really tough. So I'm just going to heat up this section, and then hopefully this should be done. So here's what it looks like with that piece removed. This is about a 6 by 6 by 6 square. This is 6, this is 6, this is 6. This might be a little bit less than 6. I just basically tried to follow these lines up the side. So let's put the feeder in and let's see how it fits. Okay, I actually need more clearance on the bottom for the bowl. So I am going to make 2 cutouts on each side that will allow the bowl to slide in okay. Okay, so here's what it looks like with the bowl. There's plenty of clearance for the bowl right now. How it is like this. Problem is, I don't think I like these sharp edges like coming down into the bowl. So what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm just gonna make a cut across, just to kind of soften those edges, and that'll be better. Okay, I just adjusted the cut and I like it a lot better. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to put some duct tape all around the edges just to make them less sharp. Not that they're sharp now, but just to soften them up a little bit. And I can't get this out, so that's why I've been cutting around this. Okay, so here's what the opening looks like, lined with duct tape. I am going to wash out the bowl and then attach the bowl to the feeder. So the last feeder housing had a 40-pound bag of rock salt in the back of it to hold it down so that the raccoons cannot move it around. And this one is not going to have room for bags of rock salt on each side, but bricks would fit. So I think what I'm going to do is go to Lowe's and buy a bunch of bricks for each side of this feeder. So here's the feeder with the bowl clipped back on. It's pretty much looking back to normal, except on this old housing I had to have like all of this duct tape holding this piece on so they couldn't get into the unit. Now that we know better, we just keep that cut out lower and there shouldn't be a problem. The only thing I don't have for this is a cover. This tub did not come with a lid. Look how cute. So I took this old towel out of the garage to dry off the bowl for the feeder, and Boo decided he wanted to lay in the towel. How adorable is that? I'll let him be comfy for a while. And here's Stella and Simba watching from the window. They're watching Boo laying in the towel. Boo is looking very comfortable. And I want to go to Lowe's and get back before it gets dark so I can finish this project and be done with it.